Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to explain an American superhero film called Green Lantern. Spoilers ahead. Take care and watch out. Green Lantern, the story begins billions of years ago. It is stated that the universe of Guardians ruled over the universe prior to its birth. Because they possess the power-generating rings. Willpower and fear are two circles visible. Fear belonged to horror, while willpower possessed boundless strength. Because they can't control their terror, Guardians now construct 3,600 sections over the entire universe. And it's with this that they grow the Green Lantern crops. Then they are confronted with a risk known as parallax. Then a Green Lantern named Abin Sur appears. Parallax is imprisoned by him. Simultaneously, a spaceship carrying some astronauts collides with that planet. And those astronauts arrive at the location where the supervillain Parallax is held captive. Seeing him makes the astronauts feel terrified. He seizes the opportunity and drains their energies. He's also rescued from the captivity that Green Lantern had placed him in. Following that, the year 1983 is depicted in the film. A child named Hal Jordan can be seen there, whose father served in the military as a pilot. His father has been assigned to test military planes. Hal also visits his father to support him. Before boarding the plane, Hal's father gives Hal his favorite jacket. His father is regarded as a hero by Hal. Like others, he was observing his father. And he was overjoyed. When Hal's father gets into the plane ahead of him, the engine on his plane blows up. Hal's father was doing his best to maintain control of his plane, but it was not easy. However, he quickly lands on the ground while keeping his bravery. Fear has caused everyone to flee. But Hal was approaching his father, so that he can save his father. However, the explosion happened at the same time. Hal's father passes away right in front of his eyes. Following then, further time is depicted in which Hal Jordan may be observed. He'd grown up and worked for Ferris Aircraft as a test pilot. His business informs him that they have developed 2 robotic aircraft. Knowing this, Hal isn't happy about it. Because he had the brilliant idea that without pilots, no one can properly handle an aircraft. He is now challenging the robotic plane to prove his point. And he pilots his planes with the help of those 2 robotic planes, which are all going in the same direction, but Hal takes his plane to the highest point in the sky. Because of the low air pressure, Hal's plane engine has come to a halt. The command center has also ordered Hal to return immediately. Hal continues to fly ahead despite all commands. Then, while piloting the plane, he notices his father's photograph. And he remembers everything. Meanwhile, the engine on Hal's plane has exploded. When he returns to take a closer look, he detonates his 2 robotic aircraft. His plane was also about to explode, but he parachute jumps out at the right time. Later, the aircraft's security, which includes the CEO's daughter and Hal's childhood friend Carol, taunt Hal together. And, as a result of the plane disaster, Carol terminates Hal. After that, Parallax appears, who has been released from his captivity. He finally gets to that Green Lantern whose new name is Abin Sur. He leaves that location, having realized the might of Parallax. That Parallax moves to the planet Abin Sur and attacks it. That Green Lantern jumps into his spaceship right away. He then departs to alert his fellow Guardians. The Parallax has been released. Because to Parallax's attack, Green Lantern was going to die. However, his spaceship crashes into the water on Earth. Before dying, he says to his ring, "Choose your favorite boldest man." Ring is now on the lookout for the capable man. On the other hand, Hal is enjoying the birthday of his younger brother with his other brothers. At the same time, the power of that ring is transmitted to Hal. Unaware of the situation, Hal departs, leaving a gift for his younger brother. Hal is brought to Abin Sur by the green light of the ring. When Hal saw this spaceship, he wanted to help Abin Sur. He is rescued by Hal, who brings him out of his spaceship. But Abin intervenes and hands Hal a ring. He tells him while pointing to the word Green Lantern. When he takes this ring and talks in front of it, he will get more power. Abin dies there as a result of saying this. Hearing all of these details, Hal becomes concerned. and he addresses his pal as an aeroplane worker. He also tells the entire truth. Then they notice the military planes, which were looking for a spaceship in eastern London. Hal is followed by an automobile, which he shares with a pal. After him, a military unit discovers Aubyn's body. They transport his body to a top-secret government research facility. There was a lady doctor with her, as well as a scientist named Hector. They'd both been summoned to undertake study on the body of Aubyn. When Hector is scrutinizing Aubyn's dead body, he places his palm on the assaulted area of the body where Parallax attacked. Parallax's small powers are dissipated in Hector when he pours his hand there. But Hector was completely unaware of all of this information. He resumes his examination of the body. Hal can be seen on the other side. He was wearing the ring and chatting in front of that lantern at his home. But nothing seems to be working, so Hal loses his cool. And he thinks to himself, why did he get this far if it won't work? On this, a lantern has been lit. Its green light has been switched on. Hal is entranced, and he begins to speak about the abilities. After that, Hal gains the Green Lantern abilities. This information has now reached the Green Lantern's world. People from the Green Lantern Corps tug Hal towards them. Hal loses consciousness on the way there. Following that, he is subjected to research. Because he was the first human to be chosen as a Green Lantern. Everyone was curious as to why he had been picked as a Green Lantern. When Hal regains consciousness, he is dressed as a Green Lantern. He also meets Green Lantern, who has the appearance of a fish, there. He tells Hal the entire story there. He claims that Parallax is out to destroy the Earth and the universe. He's now leading him to the Green Lantern, where the Green Lantern's chief is giving a speech. Hal, according to the Green Lantern's chief, is a weak character. He takes Hal to a powerful Green Lantern to test his abilities. That Green Lantern teaches Hal and informs him that with the power of the ring, anything may happen. He also says, the sun will draw the man who is large in size. There's also a fight between Green Lantern's chief and Hal there, and Hal loses heart. On this, he mocks Hal. And Hal puts a damper on it. And when he makes his decision, he will abandon them all. On the other hand, Hector, who possessed Parallax's abilities, may be seen. He gains the ability to read people's minds. He's now baiting the crowd. He had also maintained an eye on the changes that were taking place in Hector. As Hal departs, the Green Lantern's chief gathers other Green Lanterns to destroy Parallax. But, utilizing his abilities, Parallax takes the capabilities of everyone who has come before him. And he murders them all. Meanwhile, Green Lantern's leader flees. And when he comes to his Guardians, he complains about Parallax. He's more powerful than they are. The fear rings were difficult to obtain, according to the Guardians. But one of those Guardians had given the ring to that Parallax. He had transformed into a supervillain as a result of this, and he had imprisoned him. He'd returned to exact his vengeance once more. The Green Lantern's chief then states that in order to deal with the fear, we'll have to make the fear ring. His Guardians have now agreed with him. They also add to the Ring of Terror. It is also clear that the aircraft company receives their preferred deal. And the celebration is planned with a party. Hal and Hector were also present at the gathering. When Hal is talking with Carol, Hector arrives. Coming there, he attempts to inspire Carol. At the same time, Hector's father approaches and stops him. And Hector storms out of the party enraged. When he learns that it was not his ability that allowed him to hold that project, he becomes even more enraged. However, it's because of his father. Hector was growing increasingly obnoxious in this environment. When he sees a helicopter approaching the party, he uses his power to control the aircraft and crash it. That helicopter was about to crash into the crowd. As a result, all people are filled with dread. There, though, Hal is turned into Green Lantern. He then lands the helicopter on the ground and transforms it into a vehicle. All are rescued here, but the existence of Green Lantern becomes well known. For the first time, Parallax makes contact with Hector here. And he orders him to assassinate the Green Lantern who is now on Earth. Hector's visage was gradually changing at this point. He is apprehended and imprisoned in a laboratory. On the other hand, Hal transforms into Green Lantern and proceeds to meet Carol. And Hal is recognized by Carol here. He also informs them that he has left the Green Lantern unit. With this in mind, Carol tells him, "You had to take advantage of this opportunity. You didn't have to leave." She feels enraged as a result of this. Hal wanders outside, pondering about Carol's advice. Then Hal's ring brightens, and he realizes that someone is in danger. He travels to the laboratory where Hector was attacking his father after detecting it. Hector was well aware of Hal's status as a Green Lantern. He argues with Hal there because he is envious. Then Hector contacts Parallax and orders him to wipe out the entire world. Hector sets fire to his father and kills him. He also tries to murder the Lady Doctor, but Hal intervenes and saves her. Both of them are involved in a brawl. Green Lantern's world can be seen on the other side, where the fear ring had left its mark. And the leader of the Green Lantern Corps was prepared to meet Parallax. Meanwhile, Hal arrives and prevents him from using the fear ring. Because anyone uses this ring will be converted into an evil being. He also asks them everyone to help save the planet Earth. However, both the Guardian and the Green Lantern's leader refuse to assist him. Hal is now on his own to save the world. Now he arrives at the location of the aircraft where Hector abducted Carol. Because he was aware of Hector's affections for Carol. And Carol is Hal's weakest link. When Hector arrives, Hal is threatened by Hector. So he can present him with the green ring. He'll pour his blood into Carol if he doesn't. She will be converted into him as a result. Hal then removes his ring and hands it over to Hector. He tells Hal that he was lying while wearing that ring. He'll let go of Carol. Then he starts murdering Carol there. When he uses the ring to attack her, the attack is halted. Then Hal tells him, this ring is looking for a capable man. And Hector is the target of this attack. Now Hal comes to the rescue of Carol. He then takes his ring from his pocket. Then the planet Earth was approached by Parallax. Because he was grabbing the energies of others, he had grown more powerful. He also thinks Hector is useless there, so he takes his power. Hector dies as a result of this. Following that, Hal appears to challenge Parallax. However, they are engaged in a fierce battle. During this fight, Hal is defeated by Parallax. But now Parallax transforms into Hal and transports him far away from this world. Then, going there, he recalls the same fact: the sun attracts the greater object. From his behind, he takes Parallax to the sun. Hal transforms into an aircraft and takes off from there. Parallax continued to pursue him, and he was fighting as well. Hal uses all of his abilities on Parallax. And he tosses him in the direction of the sun. He'd also grown frail, so he began to attract the sun. However, Green Lanterns arrive and save him. They admire him and transport him to their world, where he assumes the position of leader. As he enters the world, he meets Carol and begins a relationship with her. The ex-leader of the Green Lanterns, Smestero, is depicted in a short segment from the film. He removes his Green Lantern ring and replaces it with the Guardian ring. His eyes get pale as a result of this. And he obtains Fear's power. And the movie ends here. Thank you for taking the time to watch. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos like this.